Sometimes the most difficult part about practicing the piano is simply getting on the bench and then knowing what to practice. So in this video, I'm gonna give you 3 things that you should start practicing right now, because these 3 things will make you better. They'll make you better at playing technique, they'll make you better at playing songs, and you're just gonna simply have more fun. So let's get started. All right, the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna pick a song, any song. Pick something that you love, and then find the chord chart. So all you have to do is go to Google, type in blah, 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 whatever the song is, chords, and you're gonna come up with lots of options. So find the chord chart, print it out, and that's gonna be what we use as the template for these 3 things. Now, I've selected a song for the purpose of this video, and it is called, any guesses? Yellow by Coldplay. So we're gonna be using that to demonstrate all of these sort of 3 things, but you can use any song you like. We've got Yellow available for you. It's just the chord chart. You can print it below this video, and then you can practice along with me. So the first thing that you should start practicing right now is super simple. It's just the chords that are in the song. So as a beginner, you can simply find and play a root position chord for each chord on your chart. So if you see a D, you're gonna build a D chord. If you see an A, you'll build an A chord. You see a G, you'll build a G chord. And simply locating each of these chords and playing them in root position as a beginner will have its challenges. It'll give you something to work on, to think about, and it really helps you to develop keyboard familiarity so you get confident moving your hands around into the different positions. And you can use your pedal for extra prettiness. You can match your left hand with the root note of each chord, so it might sound like this. There's the A, there's the G. I'm just playing the chords on the chart. The chorus gives me a G, a B minor, and an A, and that just repeats. It's a pretty straightforward song. Now, once you're comfortable there, you can start to bridge out into inversions. And this is the amazing part because we're practicing things from a song we love, but we're using and developing our piano technique, which is what's gonna make our playing go from good to great. So if you can play a D chord in root position, why not just take a moment to practice playing all the inversions of that D chord? Because in one of the next steps, we're gonna be using those inversions to make our song playing sound really beautiful. So play and hold the root note. Work on your inversions for D. The next chord on my chart is A. Same thing. I'm using my pedal just to make it sound prettier. See, now I'm not having to think about, what chord inversions should I practice? I'm simply following the ones on the chart. So use all of the chords you're gonna find in your song and play chord inversions or simply root position chords for each of them. That's the first thing you should start practicing right away. So let me show you how this would sound if you're actually putting it together as a song. I'm just gonna play my chord to start. I'm gonna sing along. Look at the stars. I could build a rhythm. They shine for you. These are just root position chords. And everything you do. And now I could use my inversions. And they were all yellow. I came along. There's my inversions again. I wrote a song for you. So you can kind of see how that all works together to create a really beautiful musical experience because you're playing a song, but you're also working on your technique, and you also don't have to do any guesswork about what you should be practicing because you've got your song that you're using as a template for your practice. So the second thing is left hand patterns, because I think we can all say that maybe our left hands could use a little more time and attention. Maybe they don't feel quite as fast or coordinated as our right hand. So take some time to practice left hand patterns. This will build dexterity and confidence in your left hand. Plus, it'll give you something amazing that you can use when you're building an accompaniment when you're playing songs. So one of my favorite patterns simply uses the root, the fifth, and then the root on top. So if I'm on a D chord, I'm gonna play D, 5 notes up, which would be A. I use my 2 finger, and then I use my thumb on that same root note, but an octave higher. So you can just play like this, and you can work through that shape for each of the chords of your song. But then you can get creative. You can build on this. You could walk it up like this and then rock back and forth. You could also kind of get even further creative. You could build out some pretty arpeggio patterns. So maybe root, fifth, root, and then you can walk it up and then walk it back down. This is a bit more advanced. And here it is on the D. You have to remember D chord has an F sharp in it. So that's why I've got the F sharp there and I've got the C sharp here. So I'm playing that fifth root, up and over, untucking my thumb, and walking back down the way I went up. And then the final little idea I'll give you here is you can add the third tone of your chord on the top. It's a big stretch, but it sounds really pretty. So root, third, and fifth. Those are my chord tones. I'm gonna play my root, my fifth, and then I'm gonna take this third, I'm gonna throw it way up there. Takes a bit of a wrist rotation, but it's really pretty, and it kind of gets your brain working, and it definitely gets your left hand working. And so if you have that, I'm not even gonna play chords in my right hand, I'm just gonna sing along with that left hand accompaniment. Look at the stars, look how they shine for you, and everything you do, and they were all yellow. So you see how I kind of used each one of those little ideas there? And it makes for a really fun little practice for your left hand. It's gonna build all kinds of muscle and strength and smartness in that left hand, all while giving you something really beautiful to work with. So the third thing, and this might be my most favorite thing, is fills. So this is what I use when I'm chording and I'm playing along either for myself or with, my friends if we're doing the band thing. But fills can really just take your playing from, hey, that's a cool sounding chord, to really, really, really fancy. Now that looked complicated. We've got lessons that'll walk you through this process really slowly. But for this lesson, I'm gonna give you like the crash course on sus chord fills. So if this is my chord, I can get rid of that third tone, swap it for the second note. That's a sus2 chord. Or I can take that third and swap it for the fourth note. That's a sus4. Now, this sounds beautiful all on its own. So if I were to go, look at the stars, look how they shine for, just using these sus chords and moving them back to my normal triad. You can do that on any of your chords. And it sounds lovely. Take some thinking. So that's the first step, but you can take that a little bit farther by rolling through them. Now, that's the part that takes a little bit of practice. But this is primarily what I do when I'm adding fills, is I'll roll through those first three notes. Sometimes I'll walk it back down. Look at the stars. And then I throw in that sus chord to give it a little extra oomph. Look how they shine for you. Try the sus4 chord. Right? It adds a little, there's the run. I just interrupted my own self while talking. It adds a little bit extra to what you're playing with your chords. We have something in Pianote called Riffs and Fills, which is designed specifically to walk you through that process way slower than I just did, but that gives you a little taste of what you can do when you start to experiment with sus chords, and they apply to inversions too. There's my first inversion D chord. I know the sus4 in root position has a G, so I build my D chord, swap the third for that G, and then I can have that really, really pretty. And then eventually you'll just be mixing and matching these and not even thinking about them at all. So it's a big world, that sus chord fills world, but start with like a really simple thing, just maybe the sus2 to the normal triad. And then you can build from there. And what happens then is you can use those fills and those inversions and those left hand patterns and put them all together and play your favorite songs. So in this song, it'll sound something like this. Look at the stars, look how they shine for you, and everything you do, they were all yellow. I came along, I wrote a song for you. So you could really do anything you wanted. So I'm gonna finish that off on the D just to make it feel like I've finished my thought over there. Let's recap. Number one, pick your song, print out the chord chart or pull it up on your device and practice the chords. Whether they're root position chords or they're inversions, just spend some time, use the song as your guide. Learn the chords from the song that you want to be learning because that's going to help you to get to where you want to go faster. Number 2, build out some left-hand patterns based on those chords of the song that you selected. And you can stay very simple with that fifth root pattern, or you can work out those lovely little walk-ups that I showed you, or throw the third on top. They'll develop your left hand, and they sound really, really pretty. And then finally, start to experiment with sus chords and sus chord fills. And as you feel comfortable, put all of those ideas together. Before you know it, you're playing one of your favorite songs and you're sounding like a boss. So I hope you found these tips helpful. Comment below. I always love to hear from you. I do read all the comments. So happy practicing, and we'll see you around. Look how they shine for you and everything you do. Yeah, they were all yellow. I came along. I wrote a song for you. All the things you do, and it was called